This is the facelift of the Mahindra TUV300, or at least Mahindra would have us believe that. And as part of this facelift, you get daytime running lights. As part of the headlamp, you've got a blacked out grille with what Mahindra likes to call blacked out chrome for the teeth. And as you move towards the side, you will find that there's some body cladding, and towards the rear, you get clear lens tail lamps and a new wheel cover for the spare wheel. While on the inside, there are some silver highlights, and as added equipment in this top spec version, you get a reversing camera. So clearly the changes on the new TUV300 aren't as dramatic, which begs the question, what about the TUV300 as a product? Especially now when you've got so many options to choose from in the sub 4 meter SUV category. Well, here's a list of things that we like about the TUV300 and a couple that we don't, but things that truly define TUV300 as a product. As for the Mahindra TUV300's price, this one here, the T10, retails for around Rs 12 lakhs on the road in Mumbai. Now, the TUV300 is one of the few sub 4 meter SUVs that can actually seat 3 abreast at the back without we getting into each other's armpits. Thank you, guys. But that's not all. Even at the front, there's enough space, so if you are the fighting spouse kind, you can still sit there and get to your destination without getting into each other's hair. And then you have enough headroom all around to stretch, if you like, and still go. The boot too is decently sized. Now, the side opening door isn't the most practical, and neither is the high loading lip height, but get past these two and you can stuff in a lot of luggage in there. Firstly, for a diesel, the NVH on the TUV isn't half bad. It also has comfortable seats. These are big, be it the captain fronts or the bench rear, and these offer good thigh and back support as well. But yes, the seats could do with a bit more contouring. I really like the visibility on the TUV300. Now, it has a large glass area, so that helps of course, but it also has this relatively slim A-pillar. You've got high seating, you've got a short dashboard, and then the edges, those squarish, they're really well defined. So it's very easy to place the TUV when you're driving in traffic. And it is surprisingly easy to drive even in chock-a-block traffic. So if you're going to be taking it to the city center or crowded city center, it's not that difficult in the TUV300. It also has these huge outside rear view mirrors, so which aids visibility to a great extent. Now, the only thing that isn't good when it comes to visibility on the TUV is the high rear mounted windscreen, and then you've also got the wheel at the back. But now, for this new version, Mahindra has added a reversing camera, so just has made that bit easier as well. Now, one of the highlights for me when it comes to the TUV300 has always been its diesel engine. Now, this is a 1.5 litre, but it's different from the one you get on the XUV300. That's a 4-cylinder, this is a 3-cylinder. This makes 100 horsepower, but more importantly, it makes 240 Newton meters of torque. And this torque is available from 1600 RPM. Now, you might think that it's not low enough, but you'd be surprised because it just doesn't seem to have any turbo lag. Let me show you. So we'll come to a standstill and we will be off the throttle throughout. We'll just let it start rolling on the clutch. And it'll keep doing that. I mean, I'm completely off the clutch and the throttle, and it'll keep crawling. And we're sitting at under 1000 RPM. But as I get on the throttle, it just picks up. There's barely any lag. What makes this engine so tractable that you can use it in the city, you can use it on dirt trails, and it just remains relaxed, and you can use that torque to actually take away from the stress of driving. Now this engine is mated to a 5-speed gearbox. It's not one of the slickest gearboxes you will find. It has slightly long throws and it's not exactly very precise, but it is light. And did we mention that the TUV300 comes with a really light clutch? Well, it does. A body on ladder frame has its shortcomings. Weight and refinement come to mind. But we will talk about that next. However, this construction also brings ruggedness into the mix. And with a rear-wheel drive setup, the TUV can in fact tread where other two-wheel drive compact SUVs might struggle. Off-road or no road are two situations that come to mind. Now the TUV is a body on ladder frame SUV, so it is heavy and it is tall, so you don't expect a lot of dynamic ability from the car. What's more, it has a very slow steering rack. Let me show you. So now turns lock to lock. 1, 2, 3, 4. Almost 4. So clearly, it's not going to be very enjoyable when you throw it around the corner. In a straight line though, at 3-digit speed, it feels planted. There is a bit of, I wouldn't say exactly like boat-like movement, but there is a bit of movement. Now back to handling, and with said, with this slow steering and its dimensions and weight, it's not going to be a very point and shoot sort of a car when it goes around corners, and it's not. So what you have to do is you have to nurse it into a corner, and you have to let its weight settle down and into a bend. Only then, does it feel calm. So if you like driving, if you want something to play around the twisties, the TUV is in the car. Last row seating in the TUV300. First, it's difficult to get in. And then when you do, there's absolutely no thigh support, there's barely any headroom, and then if you get another adult to come in, well, things can get uncomfortably close. What's more, there are no seat belts for either of us, and in that sense, we believe this is a 5-seater and not more. There you have it, the facelifted TUV300 and the things we liked and some things we didn't about this rugged, almost go anywhere and surprisingly easy to drive SUV. Now if you liked the content that you saw, please do like, subscribe and comment on the video.